so they can constantly get cash flow coming in, and we'll pick really great markets so we really get high appreciation, great cash flow. We add an Airbnb, get even better cash flow, and it's a great blend. And since your basis becomes zero because you got all your money back, you're like, okay, I'm making money off of nothing. Go ahead, ask whatever you want to ask.
Yeah, so in the current market that we're in, I have a million questions for you actually. Are you still looking to buy, and how do you run the numbers based on, are you running the numbers based on some of the units being short-term rented, some long, and what's the mix there? Do you run all the numbers based on long-term to have that safety net, or what's your go-to method?
So good question. So first question is, we are still buying. So we raised $3 million on my last investment raise.
Nice.
And $3 million raise, I ended up buying a triplex, a fourplex right next to each other. So I found the triplex where I want to be, 1 block from the water in a downtown market. Then I told the realtor, because every realtor I have has a connection to the city that they're in, I said, okay, get me the house next door. And he's like, okay, I'll try. And I said, I have faith in you. You're gonna be able to do it. So after asking once or twice, they said no. And then a month later, they came back to them and basically said they would sell it for only a little bit more of what I had in my mind to buy it for. So I was willing to pay $700. I was like, I'll pay $700. They said they wanted $750. By the end, I said I paid $725 by the time I got a seller's credit. So now we remove the fence in the middle. We combine management and the maintenance. Now it's one property.
Nice.
So it increases profitability. I then will make sure the numbers work as an annual rental, all annuals.
Nice.
And when I buy a property, I do full remodels. So electrical, plumbing, AC, insulation, drywall, kitchens, bath, everything's brand new, windows, everything's new. So because I plan, when I buy a property, I don't buy any property that I don't plan to keep forever. Will I keep it forever? I don't know. But I start from there, put in the best quality. So if I do keep it for 15 years, I don't have to worry about things popping up later.
Totally, yeah.
If I sell it, everybody knows I provide the best quality in my properties. So, and then if you do an inspection, you can tell all of these details, like this is well built.
Yeah.
So I get a good value for the sale, if we sell.
Nice.
And then we're buying the ALF conversions. So we're buying properties and we're doing the conversions, same thing. Since we're doing full remodels, it doesn't really matter so much where the walls are and things like that. If the property justifies it, normally the budget can be quite large.
Okay.
The ALF, we're buying it for $850 and the remodel budget's $400.
Okay.
But the duplex next door is worth $750. So I'm in for 1.25 for where a duplex is $750. So a fourplex is worth 1.5. I'm in, and I have 5 units. It'll be 5 2-bed, 2-bath, 1,000 square feet a piece.
Okay.
So it should be worth minimum 1.85, if not 2.5.
Do you refinance to maximize cash-on-cash return? Or?
Yeah. So I burr apartment complexes.
Nice.
So I burr apartment complexes. So in my investment pool, what we'll do is we'll take the money with the investors, whatever money you put in, you get that share. So if you put 300, you get 10% of everything we buy. You have 10% ownership. When we do the refinance, we give distributions in return. So normally the goal is to get within 2 to 5 years, everyone has all their money back. And at that point, the person's like, okay, take my money again, go do that again. So they can constantly get cash flow coming in, and we'll pick really great markets. So we really get high appreciation, great cash flow. We add an Airbnb, get even better cash flow, and it's a great blend. And since your basis becomes zero because you got all your money back, you're like, okay, I'm making money off of nothing, since I got my basis back. So that's the goal, and it's not based off of what it is today. Because as I mentioned, I purchased it at was not profitable at all. It was not making money.
This property or the one you're?
This one. It was empty when I bought it.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
I like your style. Focusing long term, doing everything high quality.
Certain investor has 7,000 doors.
Yeah.
But he only made $5 million last year. So what does it matter you have 7,000 doors if you only made 5 million? Now again, guys, I'm not saying 5 million isn't a lot. It is a lot, but 7,000 doors is a lot of doors and you only made 5? That's, numbers aren't there, you know? Like if I have 7,000 doors, I'd be making like 35. So it's like, okay, I can have a seventh of your work and make the same money as you.
Yeah.
I'd rather do that. I'd rather provide quality and have that type of product. I don't have to would love having a lot of units, but I don't have to have a lot of units. You know,
Yeah.
I'd rather just do it right, be profitable, and put out a good product, have good customer service. I like Ken McElroy. Ken McElroy has 10,000 doors, but he does such a good quality. He puts out very good product. He does the same idea that I mentioned where I bought a 3-unit and a 4-unit and I combine things to increase efficiencies and decrease costs. He does the same thing, except he buys a 300-unit apartment or 400-unit apartment, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So you know, it's all about net. What are you getting? Some people are investing for tax savings, but they choose to buy $200,000 houses. I'm like, that's not going to accomplish your goal. You're not targeting right. So your investment strategy needs to match your tax strategy, which will have to align with your long-term goal. Otherwise, in 10 years, you're going to be at a spot where you're not happy because you've been doing all this work and you didn't get to your goal.
With this property, it used to be run as a motel?
It used to be it used to be like a seasonal ALF.
Oh, really?
So I'm buying a lot of ALFs right now and I'm converting them.
Okay. What's
Yeah.
the reason that they're coming online? Was there legislation change or something?
So COVID, in 2018, the hot trend, if you remember, there was ALFs.
Oh, yeah.
ALFs were the money, everything's going to ALF.
Yeah.
Well, a lot of people that were not in the game or didn't really know how to manage ALFs properly, bought too high because it was the hot thing, overpaid, and found out it was not as profitable if you don't have your operation. So real estate, rentals, Airbnbs, you can make a lot of money if you operate it properly. So if you don't, you'll lose a lot of money.
Yeah.
So the ALF business, they were not prepared. They just thought it would self-run, self-manage, and it didn't work. So a lot of ALFs, there was a ton of competition, which decreased profitability. And then from there, issues would happen and they didn't have the money to cover it. So they were constantly putting more and more money into the ALF businesses. And then COVID hit and you are not allowed to add any people. So in the ALF world, they're called beds. You know, you're not allowed to add any new beds or add any people to the beds. So imagine people are leaving because they're going to go move back in with their kids or, you know, unfortunately pass away because of COVID. Most of the deaths of COVID were elderly and unhealthy individuals. So a lot of people in ALFs are elderly and kind of unhealthy. So they were passing away and you're not allowed to add anybody new. And the second that there is a COVID case in an ALF, they shut everything down. So imagine going through maybe a year and a half, 2 years of that, they are not, in the margins were very thin. I think you would have to have like a 70-75% occupancy rate to make money.
Yeah.
So now you're running at under 70 rate and you paid a premium price for it. So a lot of people were going under. And some of them, I target ones that go up for sale that are in great markets, you know, the same type of markets I like to invest in, downtown markets and so on. This one here, after the father passed away, the children kept it for 15 years. And they just were planning to do stuff with the property and they never did. They just were slow, and what ends up killing a business is slow. You have to be fast to keep the business running. So they kept doing it slow. Finally, they just said, we're done. So in 2019, I ended up buying it from them for like $975,000, the whole complex. And first minute went on the market, called them, I'm gonna take it, and got it under contract. There was like a ton of people from like Europe and Canada and Chicago and California wanting to buy it, but I act quickly. And I don't have to ask questions from a board. I just, I make my decision, I'm gonna buy it, done. What do you want? I'll give it to you. So there's not a lot of, the back and forth is very fast, so we can move along, right?
Was it on the MLS or
Yes.
LoopNet or what?
MLS, I think it was MLS,
Okay.
yeah.
Wow, and the valuation do they, like, how do you evaluate something that, like a business that's not operating effectively? Are they just looking at the real estate at that point itself?
Well,
not the ALF business?
Again, when you say they, there's a lot of theys involved, so it depends who is they.
Well, operator, broker, I guess.
So they probably valued it at dirt, because this is enough for 4 houses, and dirt here is about $250,000 per lot.
Okay.
So I bought it for dirt value.
Nice.
And then I had these buildings, and I was like, yeah, no brainer. I'm gonna buy dirt, remodel all the concrete block buildings that have terrazzo inside, and just make them and rent them.
Nice.
And the guy who built it originally in 1970 was an engineer. So he actually did a really good job with structurally setting things up. So it was really good bones. And then I just turned them all around and put in all new insulation, drywall, electrical, plumbing, AC, like everything top notch, and to match my coastal cottage vibe.
Nice.
So it was considered the base motel before I bought it. And we have some videos of some pretty cringy units.
Gotta see them now.
Yeah, we walked into a unit, and literally there was only enough space for you like to walk through, and it was just trash. And right now, if you saw the unit, you could never tell that it would ever have been that bad, because they're all gorgeous now.
Yeah.
But it was so full with trash. They had one pile of cat feces was over 5 pounds. It was a snow shovel that they took out.
Wow.
It was.
Weigh it? Is that an official measurement?
It was an official measurement.
I need hard data here.
Yeah. Yes.
That's awesome.
So it's crazy. The pool was filled in with dirt. So then we took the dirt out and began the process to try to bring the pool back. Wow. And it's a commercial pool with 2021 all code compliance, and it's everything that could pop up popped up. So that's why this pool took 2 years.